I'm not sure this food isn't about to fall through the floor or fly out the window, he said, now completely calm. It won't fly out. And just then a nasal voice came through the window. Peace be unto you. The master gave a start, but Margarita, already accustomed to the extraordinary, exclaimed. Why, it's Azazello. Ah, how nice, how good. And, whispering to the master, you see, we're not abandoned, she rushed to open the door. Cover yourself at least, the master called after her. Spit on it, answered Margarita, already in the corridor. And there was Azazello bowing, greeting the master, and flashing his blind eye, while Margarita exclaimed. Ah, how glad I am. I've never been so glad in my life. But forgive me, Azazello, for being naked. Azazello begged her not to worry, assuring her that he had seen not only naked women, but even women with their skin flayed clean off, and willingly sat down at the table, having first placed some package wrapped in dark brocade in the corner by the stove. Margarita poured Azazello some cognac, and he willingly drank it. The master, not taking his eyes off him, quietly pinched his own left hand under the table. But the pinches did not help. Azazello did not melt into air, and, to tell the truth, there was no need for that. There was nothing terrible in the short, reddish-haired man, unless it was his eye with albugo, but that occurs even without sorcery, or unless his clothes were not quite ordinary, some sort of cassock or cloak, but again, strictly considered, that also happens. He drank his cognac adroitly, too, as all good people do, by the glassful and without nibbling. From this same cognac the master's head became giddy, and he began to think. No, Margarita's right. Of course, this is the devil's messenger sitting before me. No more than 2 nights ago, I myself tried to prove to Ivan that it was precisely Satan whom he had met at the patriarch's ponds, and now for some reason I got scared of the thought and started babbling something about hypnotists and hallucinations. Devil, there's any hypnotists in it. He began looking at Azazello more closely and became convinced that there was some constraint in his eyes, some thought that he would not reveal before its time. This is not just a visit, he's come on some errand, thought the master. His powers of observation did not deceive him. After drinking a third glass of cognac, which produced no effect in Azazello, the visitor spoke thus. A cozy little basement, devil take me. Only one question arises, what is there to do in this little basement? That's just what I was saying, the master answered, laughing. Why do you trouble me, Azazello? Asked Margarita. We'll live somehow or other. Please, please, cried Azazello, I never even thought of troubling you. I say the same thing, somehow or other. Ah, yes. I almost forgot Monsieur sends his regards and has also asked me to tell you that he invites you to go on a little excursion with him, if you wish, of course. What do you say to that? Margarita nudged the master under the table with her leg. With great pleasure, replied the master, studying Azazello, who continued. We hope that Margarita Nikolaevna will also not decline the invitation? I certainly will not, said Margarita, and again her leg brushed against the master's. A wonderful thing! Exclaimed Azazello. I like that. 1, 2, and it's done. Not like that time in the Alexandrovsky garden. Ah, don't remind me, Azazello, I was stupid then. And anyhow you mustn't blame me too severely for it, you don't meet unclean powers every day. That you don't. Agreed Azazello. Wouldn't it be pleasant if it was every day? I like quickness myself, Margarita said excitedly, I like quickness and nakedness. Like from a Mauser, bang. Ah, how he shoots! Margarita cried, turning to the master. A 7 under the pillow, any pip you like. Margarita was getting drunk, and it made her eyes blaze. And again I forgot, cried Azazello, slapping himself on the forehead. I'm quite frazzled. Monsieur sends you a present. Here he adverted precisely to the master, a bottle of wine. I beg you to note that it's the same wine the procurator of Judea drank. Falernian wine. It was perfectly natural that such a rarity should arouse great attention in both Margarita and the master. Azazello drew from the piece of dark coffin brocade a completely moldy jug. The wine was sniffed, poured into glasses, held up to the light in the window, which was disappearing before the storm. To Wolin's health! Exclaimed Margarita, raising her glass. All three put their glasses to their lips and took big gulps.